Hi guys, welcome back. It's officially winter. Woo, it's freezing. This crunch underneath my feet. It's like -4 and freezing. But it's great, I love it. There's a whole vibe you get with winter and I'm on board, I love it. I don't understand how some of the animals survive, to be honest, when it's this cold, but they do, they're hardcore. Just want to give a quick shout out before the next video starts to James and Emily, 2 kids I met. Awesome kids, brilliant kids. Follow my channel, subscribe, so that's cool. I said I'd shout you guys out, so there you go. The next video is about mushrooms. I don't know if you like mushrooms, but give it a watch. And yeah, I looked pretty tired in that video. It was a Saturday morning after a pretty fun Friday night. Sometimes that's when I like to go mushroom hunting. Don't know why, but there you go. Anyway, enjoy the vid, and thanks to everybody for following along and subscribing. Really appreciate it. Love you all. Bye bye. Hello again. It's been a little while since I've left a video, to be honest, or even made a video. I've been so busy with work, but this time of year work starts to calm down and I start to sort of crawl into the woods a bit more and do things. I've actually had a really good season with the mushrooms and camping with friends, and I've had a really good time, but I haven't made any videos because once I finish working and I get out and I have it as a bit of a break, the last thing I want to do is sit back at the computer and edit. But this time of year, as I say, things calm down and I get back out and feel a little bit more lively. But I have had some awesome mushrooms this year. Some things I've never tried before, mushrooms I've never found before. I've been learning lots this year and I've been eating lots and really enjoying some of the things I've found. But I haven't filmed them, I just haven't had time. This year's been really busy for me. But I promise moving forward, I'll do more. The only problem is it's kind of the end of mushroom season now, but there's still some beauties to find. And next mushroom season, I promise, all the things I've learned this year, I'm going to share with you next season. So keep your eyes peeled on this channel. I'm going to show you so many cool mushrooms that you can eat and enjoy, where to find them, what to look for. And it'll be really good fun because for me, it's been great fun. Every time I see a mushroom, it's like finding a little bit of treasure, a little bit of gold, and I get all excited. And I just can't help that. That's just the way it is. So anyway, it's just good to be back into the woods with a camera in my hand, having a little wander about. And the reason why I've pressed record today is to show you one of my favourite mushrooms, certainly to find because of how it looks and how it smells. I just love it. This way. And because they're quite hard to find, they're very rewarding little mushrooms. They hide away on undisturbed ground under the leaf litter, usually once the weather gets pretty cold. So when it starts to get a little bit cold, even when there's a frost, go out and look for your Blewits then. I've just found one. Let's have a look at this one quickly and then we'll go and see how the ones I saw the other day are doing. So if I show you the woodland floor here, I'm going to give you quite a large spot here to look at. Can you see the Blewit? Give you a second. Let's move into it. There we go, right here. This is your Blewit. Let's just move this stick. Look at that. I've got my little bag with me. This one's looking quite tasty. It's all warped and bent and slug eaten, but they're such tasty little mushrooms. They don't last long. They pop up quite quickly as well. So if you do see them small, come back very quickly. Don't leave it too long, they'll be gone. They're very firm little things, Blewits. I always give them a little tap and a little wiggle. Allow them to drop their spores if they're sporing. They're quite tasty when they're young, but it's best to let them open up and do their thing. We want as many mushrooms as possible. Quite often what I'll do if I find a Blewit, if it's not quite ready yet or I want to come back later, I just put a couple of leaves over it and forget about it. People usually don't see them. But before I come back for this one, I want to show you the little stack that I saw the other day, just to see how they're doing. Bree, where are we going? This way? Go on then. She likes to help me. She also likes to trample on the mushrooms, which is a bit of a pain. So I was literally walking down this path the other day, just looking around, la 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 la. And obviously always looking at the floor this time of year, because that's what we do if you're foraging, you're looking at the floor, and this is what I saw. Again, you've got to keep your eyes peeled. You see this? Here we are. There's your Blewits. Hard to see, right? Oh, there's some more. You seeing them yet? Right here. See that one? See this one? Oh, over here as well. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, dead as well. Look at this. There's tons of them. Usually when you see one, you see others. So let's go back to our first patch here. Because over here, this is the patch I originally saw. Here they are, hiding away. Look at these. Look at that. These are beauties. So I'm going to get my little bag out. I'm going to pluck some of these and see what they're looking like. Oh, some little babies in there as well. Just try and cut nice and low. I always like to cut rather than tear them out. Leave the mycelium, or leave as much of the mycelium as possible. Look at that. Wow. Now this one's actually quite pale. But they've usually got that beautiful violet sort of purpley colour, which is a key identifier of the wood blewit. Ah, and the best bit, the smell. These ones, you'll read a lot if you look into blewits. People say they can smell like orange juice. These ones smell just like orange juice, and I've smelled them before. I've picked many blewits, and quite often I find they smell a bit, well, they can smell like candy, very sweet and floral, but like mushrooms crossed with very sweet kind of fruity smells. I've never fully got the orange juice thing, but today I've really got the orange juice, so that's cool. I think that's a good sign, to be honest. They're in such good condition. Perhaps it means that if you get the orange juice smell, there's not so many maggots in them. Because usually when I find blewits, they're riddled, and these ones look pretty good, to be honest. I'll still eat them with maggots in anyway, to be honest. But they don't usually have that strong orange smell. I've not got it before, not like that. These really do. Oh, that one's a lot more what I'm used to, but still with the orange juice in the background. Yeah, that was a little bit more what I'm used to, but again with the orange juice as well. Very sweet, very delicious smelling mushroom. You want to eat it when you smell it. I mean, it's one of those things that quite often they say with the poisonous ones, you smell them and they smell bad, they smell poisonous. There's a few out there you mustn't, I mean, just look up everything you do. Make sure you always cross-reference. I didn't eat a blewit until I really, really looked into it. Oh, lovely. Right. Grab a few more of these. There we go. So you can see as I'm putting them there, these are in great nick. Ooh, look at these babies. But look at the purple. Can you see the colour? Look at that. See if I can get a... If you look closely, you'll see the maggots are certainly starting on these. They get in at the base, at the stem, and move their way up. So quite often, I'll cut mushrooms and keep checking on the way up. It's getting better. But you'll find, I can tell this one, it's getting better. But let's have a look. Ah, that's a good mushroom. Look at that, that's looking good. So you'll see the gills are very crowded as well. On these guys, they start sort of lilac-y blue when they're young. These ones are quite pale, to be honest, but they get brown and they open up and they get flatter as they get older. You can see there's quite brown on top, but they'll get even darker. They start to look very wet as they get older. They almost look like they've absorbed water. They get very brown, but at this stage they're very firm and they still got that lovely hue to them, that lilac hue. Sometimes bluey. So bluey, purpley, lilac-y, whatever you want to call it, you can see what I'm talking about. Although I wish these were a little bit more colourful so you could see. But these are definitely blewits. Here. I've pulled this one out by the root just so you can see the mycelium here. See if I can get a close-up. You see it? In amongst here. It's almost like a cotton wool, it's like a web, it's very fine. You can have miles and miles of this stuff underneath your feet, but I don't want all the substrate in with my food, so we're going to remove as much of that as possible. I don't know why, I just love these mushrooms, and they are delicious as well. Now you can kind of see the purple more on that one, see it? Beautiful, isn't it? They're wavy, as you can see. They're not perfect. So you can see with the stem, very white. They're quite often bluey as well, to be honest, but these ones are quite white. But you can see these tiny, tiny little lines, these little fibres, which is another identifier. See them? The lines? Little vertical lines all the way down, tons of them. Very close together. Let me see if I can get closer. There we go. Almost looks like hairs, lots of fine hairs, very velvety, very silky. And they're usually very stout stems, which is why the mushrooms are very low down in the ground, covered by the leaves. They're not tall, so you have to go looking. Ooh, look at the colour on that. Oh, look at that. What a specimen. Let's have a smell. It's the smell. I love the smell of Blewits. I love the smell of Blewits. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful mushroom. And you can see on the cap, rusty kind of brown in the middle, more of a brown, not rusty so much, because that's a bit more like, I don't want to get that confused with the Cortinarius, which I'll tell you about in a second, which is one of the lookalikes. And rust is kind of the colour that you will be looking for one of its more unpleasant lookalikes. But this, usually the Blewit, as I say, lilac-y, brown towards the middle, brown works its way out as it gets older and becomes quite dark. You'll see as well the slugs do enjoy them. The bugs get these guys quick. Very, very tasty mushrooms, so I usually leave a few for nature anyway. In this case, I'm going to leave this one here. I'm going to go grab that one I saw at the start. Let the bugs have this one, even though it's a monster. Whoa, 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 I've seen more. This is just constant Blewits. This is amazing. Okay, let's have a look at this one. What, another beauty. Another beauty. Look at that. We've got one down here as well. I'm going to leave that one. Let's take this guy. So we've got a nice little bag here. I just wanted to show you the colour variation. This one's very pale, one of the first ones I found. And you can see this is a bit more of a typical Blewit colour. But these are the same mushroom. I know because I'm used to them. But you have to be aware of variation, that's all. But once you get things like smell and size and shape and everything else down, there's nothing else that'll be popping up really this time of year now, apart from maybe a clouded agaric, or a fill Blewit, a sordid Blewit. Now the cloud agaric I'd probably stay away from and look that one up. It looks very similar to Wood Blewits, but they don't have any of the lilac. They literally look like, they look a lot like this, but there's no purple colour. They're mostly sort of cloudy grey. And they are very, very delicious mushrooms, but some people get sick on them, so just look into cloud agaric or clouded agaricus. But here you can see the differences between the Wood Blewits here. This is more of a typical colour, but they can also just be aware that, you know, they vary, as with all mushrooms. Look at this, cutie. So there they are. So my camera just closed up on me then. So I was just talking about, with the Cortinarius family, there's one called the bruising webcap, which does look similar to this and grows in similar habitats and has that lilac kind of hue. But it does have the remnants of a web, or the cortina, the skirt on the mushroom, which breaks away as the cap opens up, and you'll see little bits of it around the mushroom, usually on the edge. Another thing is, or on the stem, another thing is the mushroom has very dark brown rusty spores. It's a very messy mushroom, and you'll usually see, when you pick these guys up, there's no dark rusty powder anywhere near, which are the spores, anywhere near it. It's just, in fact, they're kind of like a buff, purpley, light creamy colour, their spores, if you were to take them home and do a spore print. But the bruising webcap is quite dirty. Like look it up online, I'll chuck a picture up now, but the spores are very, very rusty, very brown, and they kind of get everywhere, and they stick to the stem as well, where the cortina once was. It's kind of the sticky remnants. I always thought that the bruising webcap was really poisonous. You've got to stay away from it. Actually, from what I've read recently, it won't kill you. It tastes minging anyway. Look into it yourself, don't take my word for that. You don't want to mix it up anyway. And you shouldn't do if you go with the indicators that I've just described to you about this mushroom. and how they compare. And you're probably unlikely to come across one anyway. You're more likely to find these, or a field blewit, or a sworded blewit, which is the same but smaller and more delicate than this, but it looks exactly the same, smells very similar. Yeah, I think that's it really. I haven't got much more to talk about. Usually I would cook the mushrooms up for you and kind of show you me eating them, which I think is a nice little extra rather than just talking about them, just kind of prove the point and show you how delicious they are, which I might do, but I've got to head off out today. I'm quite busy today. But it's a Saturday anyway, so you never know, I might have some time to squeeze in a little video of me cooking them up. So that's it really. There's probably a lot more detail you can read online about wood blewits, but these are the indicators that I use, and I'm sort of so used to picking them now, I just kind of know what I'm looking for, so it's quite hard to think of every little detail. You know, I'm not overly pedantic about everything, and there's quite a few obvious clues for me that I go for, which I've just shared with you. But look them up online, look into them a little bit more and see if you can find them, and if you do find them, take them home, take the small print, put them in front of you, open several books, open the internet, cross-reference it all, smell it, and if you're pretty sure, have a nibble. Just try half first and just see what happens. To be honest, I can't think of anything that you're going to mix this up with that's going to be dangerous. I just can't really, apart from some of the very rare Cortinarius, which don't really look too much like this. So look up Cortinarius and look up the bruising web cap, and you'll be good, you'll be gravy, you'll be fine. So yeah, anyway, I think that's it. I've been out here for a while now. I can't think of much more to share with you really. There are probably lots of tinier, there's probably a lot more detail that you could go into if you wanted to look at blewits online, and certainly look at the types of blewits and things like that. But the wood blewit, this guy here that you'll find in a leaf litter in a woodland, lilac-y purple, smells like orange juice, no rusty spore prints, no web or cortina, just a very clean, beautiful, firm little mushroom that goes browner as it ages, under the trees this time of year, as we're end of November, so as it gets cold, that's when you'll find them, and most mushrooms hide away in the cold, so there's not much you're going to mix this up with. It's a good mushroom to look for. Anyway, as always, stay safe, enjoy the outdoors, and please have done another video. I'll try and get some more up. Next year, I promise, I'm going to go mushroom mad and give you guys loads of content, because there's so many things I've learned this year, and I really want to share them. I just haven't had a chance this season, and unfortunately it's over now. It's starting to get cold. Yeah, next year, loads of mushroom content coming, I promise. And some cool wild camps and things I've got planned as well. Some awesome places I want to go. So, as always, thanks again for following along, guys. Really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Love you. Bye!